Hey everybody, it's Marty the JavaScript Party and my buddy Rhett. We're hanging out. We're back to getting to hang out and do some coding. Um, so that is cool. Yesterday I had to miss. That was the first day I think this year that I missed a day. Maybe no, it was the second day because I missed one for my birthday as well. Um, because I had to go into the office and I got to meet a lot of new people that I've talked to on the phone and talked to, but I never got to meet them in person. So that was really neat. I also got to see our actual customers doing their thing. And, every time I see that, well, here, let me give Rhett her nut. She missed yesterday too. So she missed this whole thing. And this morning I was actually going to do it without her. And she started really putting on a show outside. So I was like, okay, she really wanted to be in here for this. But every time I see our customers actually using the application or doing their current system that we're kind of trying to replace, it's always a big eye opener for me. And it was again yesterday. There was just certain, gosh, just like, ah, so that's the deal. But anyways, when we left off, yeah, and it's kind of funny because I did get, let me do this cypress. I'm gonna have plenty of time to talk while this thing is trying to come up. Um, uh, oh, I ended up getting like more subscribers yesterday than I normally get. So normally I'll get about one subscriber every couple days, which is actually kind of tough to tell because like you also lose subscribers. So maybe I'm gaining three and losing two every 2 or 3 days. I'm not sure, but I get typically that I net one every 2 or 3 days, and yesterday I netted three, which there's a couple possible explanations. One is I noticed that like a lot of times when I'm playing like some of the games I play, that it's trying to encourage me to do certain behaviors, and if I start to sort of like wane, it'll actually give me, it'll reward me. So trying to keep me engaged. So maybe that, maybe they saw that I didn't upload one yesterday. So, but it could also be that the last video had more time to sort of go through um, the process. It seems like I've noticed that a lot of times if I don't put up a video for a day, like every once in a while, like some technical glitch happens and a video doesn't go up or whatever, and then I notice that I'll get a lot more engagement. Um, so it's kind of like maybe what's happening is as I create videos, they start to sort of rise up, and then like I create another video, and that just immediately takes away. Because it wouldn't surprise me if like your last video gets a like an extra bump because it's your last video. And so when you put up another one, then your last video, then the like let's say you put one up and then an hour later you put another one up, then maybe the first one loses that bump. And so just as it was starting to rise, you sort of knocked it down, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so I watched my video from yesterday or from the day before yesterday, and I had come up with two new end-to-end tests that I wanted to add. One was I wanted to let's see, go back over here. So basically, one of them was when I have like all 16 views and I switch over to tabular to check the height, check the position of one of the ones to make sure that um, it's laying out in a different layout. Because it would be so simple to make like a little CSS tweak that breaks everything and all that. And then the other one was to like do this, like, um, let's see where, oh, I'm hitting cap locks, not, boom, maybe add a viz, and then with the tab out, and then come in here, and then come over here, and add a viz. Just sort of make sure that it goes into tabular from the keyboards. Um, and I guess I probably should name this point 004 keyboard, not input. Um, so that is what is on tab today. And the other one is like when I do this, resize. I did get to show off Cypress at work a little bit yesterday. Um, our QA person was a little bit interested. He doesn't code, but has a coding mind. He could code. I just don't think he's had a lot of exposure to coding. So I think if I could get him into that, he might be interested. I think he had a pretty bad experience with a couple of other end-to-end suites that were supposedly going to do everything for you. Um, and now he's a little bit gun shy. And then our CI/CD person was very interested, and I think he was interested because he gets a lot of tasks that are like just every hour check to see if XYZ is up, and check different things like that. So, oh, did I already do this one? Let me run that one again. Probably should lower the time in between, the wait time. Maybe I already got this one done because I thought I saw it go to, oh yeah. Okay, so that one is done because that was really all I wanted to do on this one was to go to the visual, kind of swap back and forth. So the other one, this keyboard one, I wanted to like at this point tab back, like do 2 tabs back and go into video. And I do want to rename that as keyboard. So let's do that. It's absolutely amazing how like changing up your day can really just throw off your whole routine so quickly. Because it is like 8:36 already, so I have hardly any time today. So wild. So I'm seeing in my little notification on here that air quality is poor on Saturday. It's be interesting to know how they know that. But anyway, so let's go to e2e and let's rename this one. Those are sort of the kind of tasks that like you oh my gosh that you want, that it's easy to want to blow off, but man, they're just like so much easier. So what happens over here? So now this guy's upset. It's like I can't find one of the things. I thought there was like a back arrow or something. Let's go to run. So back to spec, see if it reloads. So reloaded. So that's good. Now, keyboard TS. And I don't know that all the rest of these tabs are doing me any good, so I'm going to close them. Close others. All right. Yeah. So right at the end, I think what I want to do is end testing space key. Start testing space key. I remember we had to add like a special tab. I wonder, okay, so what I want to do is tab backwards. And I don't have any idea how to do that. So let's do this. When I was driving home yesterday, I was listening to the radio and they were talking about, oh, have you used any artificial intelligence? And they were all excited. They were making poems about each other and stuff like that. And it's just like, man, it is crazy how far behind a lot of people are when it comes to using artificial intelligence. And it's just like us early adopters, like there's some disadvantages to being early adopters in that like if the main group of people come in and they start using it and they use it in a very different way, it could just sort of change the way things work underneath us. But one of the huge advantages is God, those people that are coming in later like that are going to be so ripe to be taken advantage of. Um, so, anyways, we I live in Cobb County, Georgia, and like literally our taxes went up on our houses. Like our our house payment went up by $400 a month in like for no reason whatsoever. Just like they're like, ah, your house is worth more. We're gonna do a lot, and then this last time they did the assessments, and because they raised taxes, of course, all the values a big, the value, like when someone sits down and figures out how much they can afford to spend on a house, they're like, when they tell you what your taxes are going to be, they're like, oh, okay, well then I can, let's say today, like they can only afford $40,000 less value of house. So obviously they just drove the prices of the houses way down, amongst other things, driving the prices of the houses way down. And then so they put out the new assessments, but they didn't tell us what our taxes are going to be. And it just was a blank line. So there's always been a value there, and now they're keeping it quiet. And like there's all kinds of rumblings that they need to raise taxes again. So there was going to be, I saw when I was driving home that there was a bunch of election signs up, and I'm like, oh wait, what are we electing for? So I came home and asked ChatGPT, okay, what are we electing here? And it was stuff for the utilities company, and it was just a primary, um, and like the people I'd have voted for were already like they weren't being challenged or anything. So it was like, okay, there's no reason to go to that. But that's the first time in my whole life that I've been like, wait a second, I haven't heard of an election. I need to find out what this is about. And it's never been that easy to figure it out. So that is, man, uh, this artificial intelligence and large language models are really changing the way things work. But anyways, so I have a Cypress test, and I am tabbing within it, but um, I don't know how to backwards tab in the test. And then let me just go give it an example of the code I have now. Test. This is how I tab now. Ah, this. Wait, but I don't think. See, I wonder if. Okay, what is it saying? Okay, Cypress forward tabs. I thought to simulate a backwards tab. Okay, what's weird? Okay, so what's weird about that? What's weird about it seems like and I had 3 slices of pizza yesterday. Oof. I don't eat pizza very often. It's so good though. Yeah, until you'd expect. It's in the focus. Okay. I don't know why this should not work. Oh my gosh. Uh, I guess. See if that actually gets me where I want to be. I don't have a lot of faith in this one. I do like the new name though. I think keyboard is a better name. Yeah. Okay, so I didn't think that would work. Wait. Oh, I don't have my computer plugged in. Okay, but oh wait, focused tab shift true. Oh my gosh. You suck. So where's my tab? No, so CY tab works. Because I already installed the plugin. I feel like this is the one, well, one of the things that really annoy me. Okay, is that a lot of times when there is no answer, it'll just start making up answers. All right, let's see if this works. I feel like this has a much better chance of working than the last solution that it provided. I see. It just. I think it just. Well, oh, I think that is wild. Let's see if that's what happens in real life. So it looks like what it did was went then shift tab. Yeah, so that did not do a shift tab. It did more of a like that type of thing. All right, so if I tab, let's just try tabbing 3 times. Because really all I want to test is this thing. And obviously we're not really tabbing. So this makes this test much more fragile though, because if I decide to add an extra visualization or something, that's going to screw things up. But you can't have everything. So weird. Okay, so let's tab a 4th time, because I just tabbed a 4th time and it took me where I wanted to be. Okay, that was really, oh, okay. That's because I had, so where is it now? I don't know. I don't think that did what I wanted, but it kind of, the whole view got screwed up because my, so this time it tabbed it to that 2nd spot. So the first tab might have just delayed it. Okay, so let's go ahead and just try to one tab. Let's see what happens. Really? I don't think that does not seem right to me. All right. So one tab took me where I wanted to be. Now, in real life, when I'm actually using the application, I'm doing that, and then I'm hitting enter, and hitting enter again. Oh, I'm already in it. Tabular. Okay, let's go here. Tab, enter, 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 and then tab. Yeah, so their tab is doing something different than what our tab does, which is kind of a bummer. But so I feel like while the single tab does kind of do what we want, it is completely wrong. Um, and I can see the argument of saying, oh, okay, well, it doesn't matter if it's completely wrong. It's doing what we want, but it's just like it's wrong. I mean, it's um, what am I trying to say? It is um, it it will give me a false sense of how things work, and that is sort of the opposite of why you would want to even do this thing. So let's go ahead and at least let's make um, um, at least let's make it work right. So it's not ideally um, we would tab there, but you know we can't simulate it because of shortcomings in the tool, and or at least in our knowledge, understanding of how things work. So at least select it and then hit enter. It kind of stinks though. I mean, kind of defeats the whole darn purpose. Looks like we can't select it. So it says it couldn't find apps icon. Well, it definitely found it, but it couldn't click it. Probably couldn't click it because this thing was um, because there's like a little like let's see, let's do it. Like if I go here, I click on this, and then I go to click on that, like it couldn't because um, because there's like a little hidden div over the top, um, like in this that basically like see how I can't mouse over anything or anything because there's like a div sitting over a clear div sitting over the top there. So I think what I need to do is I don't know. I guess maybe tab once. Which should, it looks like they do have tabbing working, just not backwards tabbing. Yeah, that stinks. And then what if I select the body and click? See, because it's just not doing what really happens. So basically all we're trying to do is Or maybe we want to hit the escape key. Escape. Okay, so escape does, I mean, so clicking the body, and that would be what, but see, somebody with a keyboard wouldn't, with it's just trying to use the keyboard. So what about escape key? Um, okay, so let's go back to ChatGPT. Um, um, okay, let's try that one. Yeah, like we should never ever have click in this, right? Because the whole point of this entire test is to prove that you can do what you need to do with the keyboard. It may not be the perfect way, it may not be exactly right, but we do know that someone that is just stuck using a keyboard with no mouse can do what they need to do. Oh man, I gotta get off of here. Got to work. Gotta get paid. We're off tomorrow for Juneteenth. I don't quite understand that. Yeah, so that worked perfect. Um, that holiday, I think it might have been the day that uh, when Abraham Lincoln's law, the Emancipation Proclamation, was actually enacted. I think that is what that's about. Oh, that worked perfectly. Okay, so we are done. So tomorrow I can just do kind of go through the code, do a commit, and we'll be ready to roll to start on the next process, which is adding the delete functionality. Um, it is kind of funny because I do really like World. Like anytime we watch, I love the first season of most shows, and then I'll fall off after that. And it's because I love the world building part, and I guess that's what we've been doing this whole year is world building on this, building all the different things so that when we start to actually do stuff, um, we'll um, we'll be able to just start implementing things, you know. So I guess that is season one. Season one is all world building. It's probably going to take the whole year. Season two will be building out all the functionalities of being able to set up animations and all that kind of stuff. But hopefully, all the foundation is there. And then season three will probably be all about building cool visualizations. That would be kind of cool if we're there in 3 years, you know. And then every once in a while, we have to do a little bit of world building, a little bit of new features and all that. Anyways, everybody, happy coding. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.